Life 101 family. Mel and Toby coming to you
Hello.
live from our home office.
Yep. How you doing, guys?
And we got all our technical difficulties sorted out. We're both
Yep.
here today and excited to share this topic with you. Today we're going to be finishing up a few weeks that we've been talking about community and sharing your vision with your community. And next week we'll be moving on to some more talk about personal growth and development. So we're excited to share this topic with you and looking forward to what's coming up next week. So if you haven't caught the replay, if you haven't watched, we talked twice about how to deal with haters and naysayers. So we're going to be referring to that a little bit in this video. If you missed it, go back and check the replays. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
So today we're really talking about how to bring people on board to your vision. And of course, to start that off, you have to have a clear vision that you want to share. And so Toby and I, we have lots of different visions that, kind of interplay. And it can be something big, like a big new business idea. But it can also be something smaller, like what you're going to do this weekend, or a family trip that you want to plan, or maybe a trip with friends and family, right? And so this conversation should be able to bridge whether it's a big vision that you're talking about or a smaller vision.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you want to start by talking about the 7 levels?
Yeah. So we like to take one of our mentor, Joe Short. Joe Short. Yeah. So he will took some classes with him, and he's a brilliant man. So he has some 7 layers of how to deal with the people in your network. All right. So I'm gonna tell you all those. I mean, of course, it's gonna start with the haters. All right.
So first of all, Joe, if you're watching, sorry if we butchered this. We were just going from our memory of what you taught us.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with level 1 of people involved in your vision, I guess, would be haters, people who actively are trying to crush your dream.
Yeah. They
don't want it to happen. They're going to bring it down, right? And we already talked about how to deal with them, right?
Yeah, we talked about that in the last videos. And then we had talked to those silent against you, right? Those that doesn't like what you do, doesn't want you to do what you're doing, but they're not telling you. They're not telling you because asking them the permission. So that's why. Those is kind of also you wanted to, if you don't want to tell them, you just want to stay away from them, like naysayers, right? You want to stay there. Yeah.
And it's important to be really aware of this group in the sense that, they can take up a lot of our headspace. We can spend so much of our time and energy worrying about what people are going to think, and people aren't going to like it if I say this or that. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
People worried about what other people want to hear and if people are going to like what they're saying. And so in terms of dealing with these people who are silently against you, try to just sweep them out of your mind.
Yeah.
Just erase that thought completely. And don't let them take up any of your headspace. They're irrelevant. There are billions of people on this planet, hundreds of millions of people in this country, and you don't need to worry about the ones who aren't in alignment with what you're up to.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, guys, that we've been there, we've done that. All right, is a mistake we did in the past, that we learned from them, and now we're trying to teach somebody else to just don't make the same mistake that we made. But it's not because we just talking the talk, just to walk the walk. But it's because we believe that we've been there in that situation, all right? So and it's not a fun situation, so we don't want anybody else to just take this
to worry about
that. So
that.
that's why if we can teach as much of people, how to actually live that, it will help you. It will help you, every day.
Okay, so we taught you how to deal with haters. Talked about people who are silently against you, pay them no mind at all. And then we got level 3,
which is a no aware. All right, people that they're just not aware about you, not aware about what you do and what you do for a living or nothing. They're not aware. They just don't care. I mean, if you don't know about something, you don't care, right? I guess.
Should we go through all of them and come back to them, or should we talk about how to deal with people who are unaware? I mean,
we can just go, step by step.
Okay, so if it doesn't matter, right? If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But at some point, this is where marketing comes in and getting people aware of your vision. For example, if we're open a restaurant, right? Eventually you're going to do some marketing to get people aware of your vision. But maybe we should step back and say, these levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going to put the most of your energy and attention into 7, and then 6, and then 5, and then 4.
Yeah.
And then this level 3, people who are not aware, eventually, right, you go ahead and make more and more people aware of your vision. And at this point, right, we might have a vision that's very, very small, and it's just between the two of us. And then we go out and we find people who aren't aware, and we raise them up to a level 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe let's just read through 4, 5, 6, 7 to give people context.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the number 3 is not aware. Number 4 is aware but not enrolled. All right. And then you have the number 5, which is supporters. You have the number 6, which is having Raving Fans. All right.
Raving Fans.
Like cheerleaders. All right. And then we'll have the team.
Number 7 is people who are on your team.
On your team,
right? They're investors, employees, right?
Yeah. But what is very interesting about this, the shark is like you start actually from 1 to 7. The number 1 is a hater, right? But when you actually want to leave that legacy, you want to leave that life that you want to, to pursue it forward, all right? You wanted to read it, backwards. You want to read it from 7. You want to leave it and read it from 7 to 1. All right.
Put your energy and attention.
You actually want to go all your energy and attention to 7 to let's say 7 to 5. All right, 7 to 5, and then 4 and 3. You want to use it as where you go to advertise yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Just as self-promoter, say, hey, know me, this is who I am, or stuff like that, which is very interesting, right? So you want to go.
Sorry, we're a little disjointed. It sounded a lot better in rehearsal.
Yeah.
So 7 is the people on your team,
mm-hmm.
right? And it's super, super important that everyone on the team, I mentioned employees, for example, are fully enrolled in the vision, and they see and they support the vision of what you're doing. They're not just there for a paycheck. They're not just there because they have to be, right? But the people who are on the team are holding the vision with you, investors and others. They all, they see the vision with you. And then you've got your raving fans. So working backwards up the ladder, your raving fans is where you want to put the next big chunk of your energy and attention, making sure that they know that you know who they are. You support them. You give them discounts, promotions, and if it's something else about you're planning a family trip, making sure that they know that you want to bring them onto the team, right? Let's plan this together. Don't make it just my thing. Supporters. These are your silent supporters. They support you one-on-one, but they don't go across the room to tell somebody about your business, for example, right? That's your raving fan. If they hear someone talking about something across the room, they'll go over there and be like, hey, my friend Melanie or my friend Tovi could help you out with that.
Yeah.
That's your raving fan. Your silent supporter hears it, but they don't take it on. They don't own the vision to help you move it forward. And so it's an important place to put your energy and your attention. A lot of times they don't realize it's a personality thing,
Yeah.
right? They don't feel comfortable. And so you can talk to them about how they can support you. And, that's, for example, why we send out emails or posts like, could you please subscribe to our YouTube channel, tell your friends about us, right? We know that there are people out there who support what we're doing, but aren't aware of how they could best be our raving fans, how they could help us move this vision forward of helping people acquire an awesome life, right?
Yeah.
And then people who are aware of your vision but not enrolled, they get a small portion of what is left over of your attention and energy, and you just make sure that you let them know how great what you're doing is and that you'd love to bring them in more and more. This is why people send out weekly emails or regular emails.
Yeah. I mean, the point, like, eventually you don't wanna leave anybody behind, right? Even your own haters, you wanted to become your fan one day. So it's just a way of the way you treat them. The way you treat them, the way you deliver the message to them. Because we don't leave people behind. But
not burning bridges.
We don't burn the bridge, right? I mean, but you don't have to focus. You don't focus on people that doesn't serve you at the moment, all right? But you don't leave them behind. If you can bring them with you, slowly, because there's a lot of people out there that really want to come to the other side, but they just don't know how. They're so scary, scared to do that. If you can help them to just go to the other side, because one step at a time is just awesome when you climb the ladder and you just one step at a time. Of course, the ladder is very strong, right? It's very strong. It doesn't sort of go down,
So as we move forward in this call, we're going to talk about some very specific keys to enrolling people in your vision. And I think it would be valuable for you to hold in your mind a specific vision of something that you want to do, a vision that you want to enroll people into. Like I mentioned, maybe it's a project, a trip, a nonprofit you want to start, a business you want to start. And so as we go through these keys, picture that and picture a person that you'd like to bring on board. The first key to bringing people on board to your vision is having your own clarity and confidence in your vision. And this is a lesson, as Toby referred to earlier, that I had to learn the hard way. In the past, I was the kind of person who would get an idea and then run out and tell a bunch of my friends about my idea. And as soon as someone would start asking questions about how it would work, I would be like, oh yeah, you're right, this is stupid. And I would totally backpedal and give up on that idea.
Yeah.
And it was a habit I had for a long time of getting super enthusiastic and then just crushing my dreams before they even got formed in my own head. So that's the lesson I've learned, is to form my dream and my vision clearly in my own mind and be confident that this is something that I'm going to do before I go out and start enrolling people in my vision. So I have this vision I may have mentioned about owning a restaurant. And so I just drop little nuggets and make sure Toby and I are still on board. He's on board with my mission, my vision, and then other people as well. I kind of drop little things about it, but I'm the one that's holding the vision at this point. It's my project, right? So as you're getting clarity on your vision, right? We're talking about, it's important to not go too deep into the details until you realize who are the stakeholders. This is a great example if you're going to plan a family vacation. Some of us, we go and get every single detail about the vacation into the calendar and everything else, and then we wonder why the rest of the family's like, I don't know if that's what we want to do. Right? Because we've gone too far before we figured out who were the stakeholders and enrolled them in the vision. So early on in the process, like I said about the restaurant, right? Tovi's enrolled. And so we talk about it and we're figuring out he's a stakeholder now. He's on the team. He's level 7, right? And so together we can start figuring out the details. So it's kind of a balance, right? Of having your vision be clear, but not making it so specific that other people don't see their place in your vision.
Yeah. I mean, for example, we after we do trips, the whole family, but we plan the trip based the whole year. The whole year we know where we're gonna be, what we're gonna do, and how we're gonna do it, and everybody has his own idea. Everybody still doing their own stuff. We can go to the same country, but everybody go do their own stuff, which is awesome, right? We know nobody holding each other. Oh, you should go with me. You should go. No, everybody go his own place, which is awesome. It's awesome, but it's all planned. And then, during the plan, you talk to somebody that who's more on board to support the ideas and stuff like that, and stuff. It's just a matter of communication, right? Which we spoke before. It's just a matter of communication. With your family, if on a trip or anything you want to do, it's a matter of great communication. Yeah.
So the next tip, so number 1 is having clarity and confidence in your own vision. Number 2 is choosing carefully who you're going to enroll in your vision, and of course looking at those 7 levels and people who've been your raving fans about other things that you've done in the past. They're a great person to start off with your vision.
Definitely.
And kind of working up that list on people that you enroll into your vision, and thinking about what they might get out of being a part of it, right? People who might enjoy this kind of project. Looking through your network, we've talked in the past about building up your network. And so, when we started this nonprofit organization, look through our network, who do we know that can help us file forms with the IRS?
Yeah.
Right? Let's enroll them in this vision and see if it's a project that they might want to support. So having that network written down and being able to scan through it and remember people that, might want to be involved in your project. And it's kind of cool too, like once you have your vision clear, then when you're out having a conversation, randomly with neighbors or whatever, and you hear somebody's doing something in alignment, then you can really start building something together. And it's really exciting,
Yeah,
when you just come across people who might want to play a role in your vision.
Yeah, definitely. One way you can enroll people in your vision, work on your vision and work on your mission statement. All right, that's two things you need to talk to people to understand where where you are and where you want to be. All right, and if you do that, you can get a lot of people on board with you to support you, or tell you clear, I'm not going to support you. But this the other thing, also you talk to people. When you're going to talk to people, right? That's you took type of questionnaire, right? If you ask somebody opinion about what they think about your vision, if they give you opinion on it, you shouldn't be upset if it's good or bad.
If you say, what do you think? That's a
think?
common one. What do you think?
Yeah. And
you should be ready for an honest answer.
Honest answer. and the honest answer you should take honestly, you should take thank you very much for your honest answer.
So what if you
Right.
don't want, what if you're not ready? I've heard this from a lot of people on our consultation calls. They don't want to hear negative feedback. They are tired of people crushing their dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't want to hear negative feedback, you need to choose carefully.
You need to choose carefully
Who you
who's your
talk to.
cheater, even your cheerleader.
And then secondly,
Yeah.
don't ask, what do you think? Ask, I really need your support in this.
Yes.
Right? Or I'd love it if you could support me in this. Because if you ask, what do you think? It activates a certain part of their brain that is analytical.
Yeah.
And if you say, I'd really love your support in this, it activates a part of their brain that is more likely to support.
To support,
right?
yeah.
So you choose your words carefully.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to talk about that.
I mean, yesterday you actually were talking in one of the videos that words is magical, and that's true. Just words can change. Can change the word. It depends how you use it. It just depends how you use it.
Yeah. So plan ahead. I'll give a great example. It's kind of a funny example, but my son was 11 years old when I got pregnant the second time. And so called my mom, and I had planned ahead, right? And I was like, hey, Mom, I have some great news. Because I needed to front load that. I have great news. We're going to have another baby. So that she was already primed to respond to it in a positive way instead of with worry, for example. So plan ahead about how you're going to deliver this information to people. And you can plan for one specific conversation or just in general. Tovi and I role play our mission statement, all the time, just so that when we're out in public and we talk to somebody and they say, oh, so what do you do? We're able to articulate what it is that we're doing. So the other thing that's important, we kind of skipped. So let's just say what to say was number 3.
Yeah.
And number 4 is choosing the time and place to talk to someone.
Oh yeah, that is very, very important. Very, very important. Because if you go, I mean, let's say, for example, it happened inside our house here, right? Sometimes Melanie's working and I come with this idea, come and start talking to her, and she just, she doesn't know what I'm talking about because I came and I invade her space that she was concentrated on something else. All right. So this is one of the stuff where I learned that out. Wait or tell her, I'd like to talk to you about something. When you're free, let me know. And that's other thing we're learning. And she does the same thing too. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm working and she just coming in. But then we learn from that, with the experience, right? By that, we a couple inside the house is one thing. But imagine that you go to your best friend and that you probably is a support of you, okay? But you go with your idea, you start talking to your best friend. And he or she answer you the bad way. You know what I mean? And just for the fact that on their mind, they weren't listening to you because they weren't doing something else.
Well, that especially happens, I think, with phone calls.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call someone and they answer the phone. They're happy to see our call.
Yeah.
But we don't take a moment to say, hey, do you have a few minutes to talk? And I've even gotten to the place where I like to text ahead of time and say, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Can you give me a call when you have about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So that they have a concept of the time and space that I'm asking. And even better is if it's a big deal, right? Can I take you out to lunch?
Yeah.
Because then you've created a space where everyone's going to be focused. I mean, of course, there's ordering food and everything else, but that you've created a container for having this valuable conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And by taking them out to lunch, you're showing already appreciation and gratitude and generosity. So you're building this whole positive vibe going into it. And then You've carefully crafted your message. You know what you're asking of them. Would you like to invest in this idea? Would you like to join our team? Would you be willing to share this idea with your family and friends, whatever level you're asking of this person? Or would you just be my silent supporter?
Yeah.
I just want to know that you've got my back.
Yeah. That's one thing also very important when you are, you know, in your vision to you want to be something, you want to do something in life. There's something very important too that is your whole environment area. Okay. Sometimes you even have to move to different place, different neighborhood, before you start doing something different, seeing something is different, all right? You meet different people that has different vibe that might get into helping you to get where you want to be. Because look, we all love our friends and relatives that we grow up together. We all love that. We all love the past. Talked about the past. Talked about the guys we met since 3 years old, 4 years old. We love them, right? But sometimes when you be in one place for so long, you go to the same restaurant, you go to the same club, you go to the same bar. I mean, everything is the same. Okay, nothing changed. I mean, some neighborhood, no, even the color of the building didn't change. Okay, if you stay in the same place, it's really hard. It's really hard for no matter how much idea and vision you have to kind of move forward because you still have the same mindset that okay, I can be here, but all my friends is still here with me and they're not moving forward. So if I'm moving too fast, they're gonna look at me as weird. So that's a lot of complication actually in terms of relationship. That's why a lot of people doesn't move forward in life. Of course, they kind of stay. They don't want to leave. Their ancestry. They don't want to leave their past. They want to stay in the past. But you can stay in the past and hope to have a better future. And the way of living is the present. If you live in the future, it's like you're only thinking about what's coming next. All right. If you live in the past, you really you're not going anywhere. Present is the right way of living. Okay. When you live in the present is where you live and relax. You live in like from your heart, from your energy. Everything is more normal. You take anything more, naturally. Life is the present. Okay, life is the present.
I'll tell you, Toby and I make a good balance because he really lives that way. I live a lot in the future, and so I'm still learning how to live more in the present of today. So I'm kind of the visionary of this family for the most part, and he keeps us grounded in the present. So he's speaking the truth, and maybe that'll be one of our next calls.
Yeah, definitely.
How to stay grounded in the present, because I'm definitely working on that myself. Got some exciting things going on. We're a little bit over time, and there's one last key, and then I want to do a full review.
For sure.
So the last key is how to respond after this conversation when you've enrolled people into your vision, whether it's an email that's gone out or a video or this precious lunch that you've taken someone to or a phone call. You want to make sure that you just express a lot of gratitude. Even if they've said no, they are not going to be supporting your vision at this time. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your feedback. Gonna take it under advisement, right? Just make sure that you come from a genuine place of gratitude for their time and energy, which is precious resource. And then all the more so, the higher up the levels that you see them. And I would record, for each vision, what person is on which level so that you know easily who to refer to when you need it. So I would come home, I would make a note in your spreadsheet or your notebook. Someone is a 6 or someone is a 5 in terms of my vision. And so you can think about what the next steps will be with them.
Yeah.
But send thank you cards. Make sure you follow up with a text how great it was to meet with them. Just really come from a true place of gratitude, because that just supports and nourishes you and them and your vision, and creates a lot of positive vibration all around.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. Yeah.
I will do really, really quick. Want to go through the 7 levels and the 5 steps. Ready? Level 1 is your haters. Level 2 is people who are silently against you. Level 3, people who are unaware of what you're doing. Level 4, people who are aware, but they don't think of themselves as having a role in it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is people who support you passively. Number 6 is people who support you actively. And then number 7 is members of your team. And the 5 keys to enrolling someone in your vision. Number 1, clarity and confidence in your vision. Number 2, thinking about who to enroll in your vision.
Yeah.
Number 3, planning out what to say and choosing carefully. Number 4 is planning and choosing the time and place to have the conversation. And number 5 is choosing how to respond. So I hope that you found some value in this. If you're watching on YouTube, you've got to join our private Facebook group where we every day dropping knowledge and supporting our group members. If you're in the group and you haven't had a one-on-one consultation with me and Tovi, you really should do that. We'll help you gain clarity on your own vision and how to take some steps forward. You can ask us all your questions. We can ask you a bunch of questions, get to know you better. So with all that said,
guys, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.